4, Childhood, from your Hornbill book. This poem is written by Marcus Nathan. So this is a beautiful poem, children. But before we start, let us read something about the poet. So Marcus Nathan, he is a Norwegian poet. He was born on June 23, 1975, and this poem was written by him when he was just 12 years old, okay, when he was a small boy. And this poem was not written in English, and this poem is a translation. He wrote in his own mother tongue, children, and later it was translated in English. Okay, so this is a wonderful poem about his own childhood. But before we start, let us see something about the poem. So in this poem, the poet, he thinks about his own childhood. Okay, as I already told you that this poem was written when he was 12 years old. That means he himself was a child when he wrote this poem. So in this poem, basically he has written about his own childhood. And when we think about childhood, we think of innocence, yes or no? Because childhood is full of innocence. When we grow up, this innocence starts fading, yes or no? We lose our innocence. When innocence means what? Being very childish and being very, knowing much about the worldly things. Okay, that's called innocent. So this childhood phase of our life is full of innocence, when it is a phase where we don't know the worldly things. Yeah, we are away from greed, we are away from prejudices, we are away from all the negative feelings and emotions, right? But when we are children, we are very innocent, we are very playful, and we have some kind of dependency, yes or no? We always depend on our elders, on our parents, yes or no? Right. So this poem is about that only, children. And the poet, he wonders when and where he lost his childhood. Okay, so he is just 12 years old, and he says that he lost his childhood. Okay, so in the whole poem he asks questions to the readers as when he lost his childhood. Okay, when did his childhood go, or where did his childhood go? So he is searching for his childhood. He is asking these questions to the readers. Okay, and he also tries to answer those questions. He says that when he lost his childhood, when he started understanding the world. That means he is no more innocent. Okay, innocent, what did I say? Not knowing about the worldly things. But when a person started understanding about the world, that means his childhood is lost. Okay, so here the poet says that he lost his childhood, and how he lost and what happened, how he came to know that he lost his childhood. All those things we are going to see in this poem. Okay, children. And in this poem, 3 very important things he has discussed. He talks about rationalism, he talks about hypocrisy, and he also talks about individualism. Okay, so all these 3 important traits we are going to see in this poem. The poet has one, even though he was just 12 years old. This poem is, it looks so mature, and beautiful poetic devices also the poet has used. So we are going to see all these 3 traits, and we are going to see what the poet has written, and also how he has used the poetic devices. Okay, and also we are going to see the meaning of some difficult words. I want all of you to take your books and take your pencil to write the meanings, and take your colored pens to write the poetic devices. So let's start, children. So we'll start with the stanza number 1. Let me just read it before we start. When did my childhood go? Was it the day I ceased to be 11? Was it the time I realized the hell and heaven could not be found in geography, and therefore could not be? Was that the day? So here this is the first stanza, children, and these words are spoken by the poet. And here you can see that the beginning of the poem itself, it's a question. Okay, the poet is putting this question to the readers. Okay, he is asking, when did my childhood go? So he wants to know, that means his childhood is lost now, and he wants to know when did it go. Okay, when did his childhood go? Now you see the second line, children. He is making assumption. Okay, he is trying to answer his own question, which he put to the readers. So he says, was it the day I ceased to be 11? I ceased to be 11. Cease means take your pencil, children, and you write stopped. Okay, was it the day I stopped to be 11? So when can you stop to be 11? When you become 12. Okay, so when you become 12, that means you have stopped to be 11 years old. Okay, so in this line, the poet, he himself tries to answer the question. He says that he lost his childhood when he stopped to be 11, and when he grew 12 years old. Okay, when he became 12 years old, he lost his childhood. Okay, see the next line. Was it the time I realized the hell and heaven could not be found in geography? So here the poet, he says, now he make another assumption when he lost his childhood. So the first assumption first guess enna pannaru, when he stopped to be 11 years old. That means when he grew when he became 12 years old, he might have lost his childhood at that time. See that now this line, he says, he tries to assume that he might have lost his childhood when he came to know that hell and heaven were just imaginary places. Okay, see, when we have heard about hell and heaven many times. See, usually elders, they tell us that when you do good things, when you do good deeds, you go to heaven. When you do bad things, you go to hell. Yes or no? So we are grown in such a way that we think that hell and heaven are true. They are it is not an imaginary place. But when he came to know that when he found that in his geography book there was nothing called hell and heaven, he came to know that there is no place called hell or heaven. Okay, that means here the boy, he is trying to believe in, he's not ready to believe in the things which is not scientifically proven. Understood, children? So see, when something is scientifically proven, that means the thing is true. That means the thing is real. Yes or no? When you find a place in your geography book, okay, in the map, that means the place is there, the place is existing. Yes or no? When you find India in the map, in the world map, that means India is existing, India is there. Okay, it is a real thing. But when the child, when he saw his geography book and he couldn't find hell, neither hell nor heaven, that time he understood that there is no such place called hell or heaven. They are just imaginary places which he was forced to believe that they existed. Can you understand, children? So பெரியவங்க சொன்னது அப்படியே சும்மா பிளைண்டாக நம்பிட்டு நம்ம வளர்ந்துட்டே இருக்கோம், ரைட்? ஸோ வென் he realized that these places are imaginary, so அந்த டைமில் தான் he lost his childhood. So he is thinking like that. Okay, he is assuming like that. He is asking us that did he lose his childhood when he came to know that hell and heaven were just imaginary places and not the real thing. Okay, children? Now see the next line. And therefore could not be. That means therefore, if hell and heaven, these two places are not there in the geography book, that means these places don't exist. Okay, and therefore could not be. That means they are not there. Okay, these two places are not there in the world. Was that the day? So he is asking us. Okay, he is making assumptions. So on that day he became he was no more a child. Okay, he lost his childhood on that day. This is making assumptions, children. And when we started the poem, we read about, I told you 3 traits. Do you remember, children? The 3 traits were rationalism, hypocrisy and individuality. Individualism also, you can say. So this stanza means what, children? This stanza tells you about rationalism. Okay, in the next slide, very soon we are going to see in detail what is rationalism. But before that, let us see the rhyme scheme and the poetic devices in this poem, children. It's a beautiful poetic devices the poet has used. So this is the first stanza. When you can find this in your book. So see the first line. When did my childhood go? So the whole line is poetic device, children. See, when you see the other stanzas, you can find the same line repeated. Yes or no? When you see the second stanza, the same line is repeated. When did my childhood go? When you see the third stanza, you can find the same line. Okay, so when the whole line is repeated, see, when one word is repeated in same line, ஒரே லைன்ல ஒரு word திருப்பி repeat ஆனா, that is called repetition. Okay, but when the whole line is repeated in the poem again and again, then it is called a refrain. Okay, you please underline the whole line and you please mention there refrain, REFRAIN, refrain na ஒரு poemல ஒரே ஒரு line வந்து திரும்பி repeat ஆயிட்டே இருக்கும். That means the poet is trying to stress on the idea, okay, on the particular idea or a particular thought. Okay, so here what is the thought, what is the idea? When did my childhood go? So here repeatingly he is asking the question to the readers about when did his childhood go. That's all, children. This is the first stanza. Next line you see the second line and third line. Was it the day? Next line you see, was it the time? Okay, so second line and third line, they start with the same word. Was அப்படி ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகுது. You can see in the slide, children, in the picture you can see was ரெண்டுமே அண்டர்லைன் பண்ணியிருக்கு ப்ளூ கலரில். So this is anaphora. You please mention it. Anaphora, ANAPHORA, anaphora. You write this with colored pen, children. Use pencils for writing meanings and you use colored pen for mentioning the poetic devices. Okay, children? So here you write anaphora. In the first line it is refrain, children. Refrain na ஒரே line வந்து ஒரு poem full-ஆ repeat ஆயிட்டே இருக்கணும். That is called refrain. In the second one which I said is anaphora. Anaphora அப்படிங்கிறது என்ன? Two consecutive lines. ரெண்டு அடுத்தடுத்து வர line வந்து ஒரே wordல start ஆச்சுன்னா that poetic device is called anaphora. Okay, children? Now in the third line, the same line you see, was it the time I realized that hell and heaven? So here hell and heaven is what poetic device it is? See, it is both the words are contrasting. Yes or no? Both the words are opposite. So this poetic device is called antithesis. Okay, there are two poetic devices. First you write antithesis. Antithesis na two opposite or contrasting word in the same line. So hell and heaven ரெண்டுமே பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ரெண்டு ஆப்போசிட் வேர்ட்ஸ். ஹெல்ங்கிறது ஒரு நெகட்டிவான பிளேஸு, ஹெவன் வந்து ஒரு பாசிட்டிவ் பிளேஸ். ஓகே, ஸோ யூ ரைட் antithesis. And one more poetic device is there in the same phrase, which is very good. It is alliteration. So what is alliteration? Alliteration is two words start with the same consonant sound. Okay, the beginning sound would be same consonant sound. So here H sound, the H sound is repeated, hell and heaven. So it is alliteration. Now see the last line, children. Was that the day? So this line is also repeated in the poem. You can see in the first stanza, then second stanza or the last line pathina, was that the day? Same line da. Okay, and third stanza or the last line same da. Was that the day? Can you understand, children? So this is also what? It is refrain. Already நம்ம படிச்சிருக்கோம். First line last line திருப்பி repeat ஆகுது. So this poetic device is refrain. REFRAIN. Okay, so poetic device மட்டும் எழுதுனா பத்தாதுடா. Poetic device அதோட definition என்ன, அதுக்கு meaning என்ன அப்படிங்கிறது that also you write so that you will not forget. Okay, children. Now we will see about rationalism. Now already when we began the poem, we saw that the poet has used three traits in this poem, which is rationalism, hypocrisy and individuality. So in this stanza, the poet has written about rationalism. So rationalism அப்படிங்கிறது என்ன? What is the definition? What is meant by rationalism? It is making decision based on reasons and facts. Okay, ஒரு ரீசனபிளாக இருக்கணும், ஒரு சயின்டிஃபிக் ப்ரூவன் திங்காக இருக்கணும். அப்போ தான் அது மேலே you start believing that. Okay, that is called rationalism. Okay children, so அதாவது when you don't believe in things which are not proven, okay, which does not have any scientific reasons, okay, so and the mari things vandu when you stop believing, when you don't believe in all those things, that is called rationalism. So in this stanza, what the poet has discussed, he has mentioned about the hell and heaven. Yes or no? He has mentioned the geography book in which the hell and heaven were not located. Okay, so he stopped believing in hell and heaven. Can you understand children? So hell and heaven வந்து geography bookல இல்லை, அவர் வந்து பார்க்கல. அப்போ எப்படி அது உண்மையாக இருக்க முடியும்? So they could not be true அப்படின்னு அவர் சொல்கிறாரு. So this is purely rationalism children. அதாவது reasons இல்லை, scientifically proven இல்லை factual கிடையாது. That means அதில் வந்து போயட்டுக்கு எந்த ஒரு நம்பிக்கையும் இல்லை. So this is rationalism. Okay, so the first stanza is about rationalism. He has used rationalism in the first stanza. Okay children, now let us see the second stanza. Now let me read it first. When did my childhood go? Was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seemed to be? They talked of love and preached of love, but did not act so lovingly. Was that the day? So in this stanza, the poet, he talks about adults. Okay, adults na yaru? The grown up people, especially our parents. Okay, all our elders are adults. Okay, they are adults. So here the poet, you should not forget children that when he wrote this poem, he was just 12 years old. Okay, so he says that again he is asking the same questions to the readers. As I said, that it is a refrain. The same question he is putting to the readers. What is asking? When did my childhood go? When did my childhood go? So second line, you can see he is making another assumption. Okay, மறுபடி கெஸ் பண்ணுறாரு. இந்த டைமில் தான் என்னோட சைல்ட்ஹுட் வந்து மிஸ் பண்ணியிருப்பேனோ அப்படின்னு கெஸ் பண்ணுறாரு. So see that line? Was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seemed to be? Okay, so this means what? பார்க்குறதுக்கு வந்து நல்லவங்களாக இருப்பாங்க, பட் ஆக்சுவலி they are not that much good. Okay, sometimes adults வந்து they give a lot of lecture and they give so many pieces of advice that you should never lie, you should be very kind and generous to all, எல்லாத்துக்கும் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு நம்மளுக்கு சொல்லி கொடுப்பாங்க adults எல்லாம், right? But sometimes they themselves fail to do so. ஓகே, இப்போ கைண்டாக இருக்கணும் அப்படின்னு நம்மளுக்கு சொல்லுவாங்க, பட் சம்டைம்ஸ் தே ஆல்சோ ஃபைட். ஓகே, சம்டைம்ஸ் தே ஆல்சோ ஷோ தேர் ரூட்னஸ். பொய் சொல்லக்கூடாது அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க, பட் சம்டைம்ஸ் தே ஆல்சோ லை. ஓகே, மற்றவங்களுக்கு பொய் சொல்லக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவங்களே பொய் சொல்லுவாங்க. கேன் யூ அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் சில்ட்ரன்? ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் வாட் த போயட் இஸ் ட்ரைங் டு சே. ஸோ ஹீ ரியலைஸ்ட், அவருக்கு இப்போ தான் ரியலைசேஷன் ஆகுது தட் அடல்ட்ஸ் தெர் இஸ் நோ synchronization between the adults words and the adults action. adults சொல்றதுக்கும் adults செய்யறதுக்கும் சம்பந்தமே இல்லாத மாதிரி இருக்கும். So this is called hypocrisy children. You can mention there hypocrisy பத்தி இன்னும் நம்ம அடுத்த ஸ்லைடில் நம்ம பார்க்கலாம். But just for now you please take your pencil and mention there hypocrisy. HYPOCRISY. hypocrisy na pretending to be what you are not. ஓகே, நீ எது இல்லையோ அது வந்து நான் இருக்கிற மாதிரி மற்றவங்க முன்னாடி ஆக்டிங் பண்ணுறது, ப்ரிட்டெண்ட் பண்ணுறது, தட் இஸ் கால்ட் hypocrisy. ஓகே சில்ட்ரன், ஸோ what is hypocrisy here? See the next line. They talked of love. They, who is they here? The adults, okay, the elders. They talked of love. So they speak about love. They preached of love. Okay, அவங்க வந்து லவ் பற்றி அன்பு பற்றி நிறையா பேசுவாங்க, அன்பு பற்றி நிறையா லெக்சர் கொடுப்பாங்க. ப்ரீச்சிங்னா என்ன? கிவிங் advice, okay, teaching people. So they talked of love and preached of love. அன்பு செலுத்துற பற்றி நிறைய பேசுவாங்க, but did not act so lovingly, but they themselves are not so loving to the other people. So this is hypocrisy, yes or no? So அன்பு பற்றி நிறைய பேசுவாங்க, ஆனால் அவங்களே வந்து அன்பு காட்ட மாட்டாங்க யார் மேலேயும். So this is hypocrisy. Was that the day? So he is asking again to the readers, that was that the day when he realized that the adults are not how they look, okay, they were just pretending in front of others. So idu realize பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் he lost his childhood அப்படிங்கிறது he is simply guessing, and he is confirming it with the readers also. Okay children, yes. Now let's see the poetic devices in this stanza. See the first line, when did my childhood go? So this you are very well aware of it. What is this? This is refrain, okay. The line is repeated throughout the poem. Now see the next line, second line and third line. Was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seem to be? So this is enjambment. This is enjambment. Enjambment means what? Continuation of a line in the continuation of a sentence in the next line, okay. You write enjambment. The spelling of enjambment is EMJAMBMENT, enjambment, okay. See the next line, they talked of love and preached of love. Of love வந்து repeat ஆகுது, so this is repetition. Now see the last line, was that the day? So this is again refrain, because the same line is repeated throughout the poem, especially the first line and the last line in every stanza are same. Okay children, so here we have the third stanza now. What is third stanza? Let me read it for you. When did my childhood go? Was it when I found my mind was really mine, to use whichever way I choose, producing thoughts that were not those of other people, but my own and mine alone? Was that the day? So here again the poet is asking the same question to the readers. When did my childhood go? Okay, when did he lose his childhood? So again he is trying to answer the same question. He says that, was it when I found my mind was really mine? Okay, so here see, when we are children, we are used to do the things which our elders ask us to do, yes or no? We are used to think as our elders want us to think, yes or no? We are used to believe in some things which are told by our parents, by our elders, yes or no? So children irukkrappo we always we always obey our parents, we always obey our elders. But as we grow, we try to make our own decisions, yes or no? We start thinking out of our own brain, yes or no? So here the child, the poet, he is answering his own question. He is making an assumption that his childhood was lost when he found that his mind was really his mind, okay, and it was not somebody else's mind, to use whichever way I choose, okay. So since it was his own mind, he was free to use that mind whichever way he wanted to, okay. So it was not necessary that the mind should be kept under control of somebody else's command, okay. So yeah, especially elders, always throughout the life we are very obedient to our parents, obedient to our elders. So here the poet is sharing his views that he lost his childhood when he came to know that his mind was his own mind and not a slave to somebody else's command. Now see the next line children, producing thoughts that were not those of other people. That means now the poet, he realized that he could produce his own thoughts, okay, which were not bound by anyone. okay, which were not controlled by anyone, okay, or his thoughts were not provoked by anyone, okay, instilled by anyone. So he was responsible of his own thoughts, okay. Now he was able to produce his own thoughts because now he understood that his mind was his own mind, okay children. See the next line, but my own and mine only. That means his thoughts did not belong to other people, his thoughts belonged to himself, okay. And again the same line, was that the day. So again the poet is asking, was that the day when his childhood was lost. So basically in this stanza the poet, he is talking about his own individuality. So in this stanza the poet, he deliberates on the same question again and again. What is that? When did he lose his childhood, okay. So he is trying to answer, he is giving all the possibilities. So he realized that he could produce his own thoughts which were not controlled by anybody, and also he sensed his own individuality and a separate personality, okay children. So that's all. So next we are going to see the poetic device in this stanza. See the first line, again it is a refrain, when did my childhood go. So this is a refrain because the same line is repeated in almost all the stanzas except the last stanza. See the next line, was it when I found my mind. My mind is alliteration. Please mention there, alliteration, you write alliteration, ALLITERATION, alliteration. See the next line, whichever way I choose. So this is also alliteration, plus it is inversion. So what is inversion children? But usually in the statement whichever way I choose. So you can also say that like I choose a way, okay. So way is the object. Usually object is the subject ku apra da varum, but here in this sentence the object comes before the subject, okay. So to use whichever way I choose. So this is inversion children, adavadhu object comes before the subject, okay. This is inversion, please don't forget, mention it. This is a poetic device. Next line you see, producing thoughts that were not. So thoughts that, this is alliteration. Please mention there children, it is alliteration. Likewise in the last line, was that the day. So again it is refrain. Don't forget what is refrain children. Refrain is the repetition of a line throughout the poem, okay. That's called refrain. Alright, now next in this stanza, in the third stanza, which trait did we see? We saw individualism, or you can also call it individuality, okay. So what is individuality? Having own independent thoughts and beliefs, okay. Adavadhu not depending on others, okay. Not thinking what others think. So in this stanza, how he is thinking individually, what individualism he is showing in this stanza? He says that his mind is free. Yes or no? His mind is his own mind. It is not dependent on others' command, okay. And he can choose whichever way he wants to choose. So that means what? That shows his individuality, okay. And also he says that he can produce his own thoughts. In the stanza eduthu pathena unakku theriyum, in the third stanza you can see he can produce his own thoughts, okay. So this shows that he is thinking about individuality, okay children. So now let's see the fourth stanza, the last stanza of this poem. Okay, now let me read it for you. Where did my childhood go? It went to some forgotten place that's hidden in an infant's face. That's all I know. So this is the last stanza, and in this last stanza the poet, he tells about his lost childhood, okay. He concludes that his childhood had gone to some forgotten place. ஏதோ ஒரு மறந்து போன ஒரு இடத்துக்கு his childhood has got lost, okay, and which will never come back. His childhood is not going to come back, okay, and he cherished his innocence, which vanished now and could be only seen in a baby's face, okay. And the innocence and the childhood and the childishness, okay, and the childhood வந்து இப்போ யார் ஃபேஸில் பார்க்க முடியும்? இன்னொரு சைல்டோட ஃபேஸில் தான் அவரால் பார்க்க முடியும். Okay children, so that is what he is trying to say. And he also says that he only has sweet memories of his childhood which would soon fade away. So in this stanza, in the last stanza, he conveys a message that the innocence of childhood stays till the time one is an infant, okay. ஒருத்தர் வந்து குழந்தையா இருக்கிற வரைக்கும் மட்டும்தான் அந்த இன்னோசென்ஸுங்கிறது நமக்குள்ளே இருக்கும், okay. Once you grow up, that innocence will fade away, it will go away slowly, gradually, okay. So that is all he knows about his childhood. So finally he gives his own answer to all the questions which he asked earlier. What question he asked before? When did my childhood go? See, in the first stanza, when you notice, in the first stanza, second stanza and the third stanza, you can find the answer. The question starts with when, okay. Eppo my childhood lost, that is what he is asking. In the last stanza, he is changing the question from when to where, okay. So he is asking, where did my childhood go? So finally he asked all these questions to the readers, but he also tried to give the answers to all his questions. So finally he convinces himself that his childhood is not going to come hereafter, and his childhood can be seen in some other child's face, because அந்த குழந்தை வந்து இன்னும் இன்னோசென்ட்டாக தான் இருக்குது. Yes children, so we have completed all the stanzas. Now let's see the poetic devices in this stanza. So you know very well where did my childhood go. So here only the word where is different. You can also write refrain here because the other words are similar, they are same, okay. See the third line, that hidden in an infant's face. So here the repetition of a sound is repeated, yes or no? There is a repetition of the vowel sound, not a consonant sound. If it is a consonant, it is alliteration. So here it is the repetition of vowel sound. So when a vowel sound is repeated in a sentence, that poetic device is called assonance, okay. Assonance, please make a note of it. Write with colored pen children, you write assonance. So that's it children, the poem is over. Now I hope you have marked all the poetic devices. So now let's see the theme of this poem children. So this is the theme. I want all of you to make a note of it in your classwork note children. So first one is loss of childhood. Of course the whole poem is about loss of childhood of a child who is just 12 years old. When the poet was a 12-year-old boy, he wrote this poem, okay. You should not forget this. And in this poem he has also become very rational. You can see in the first stanza, you can find rationalism there. He's not ready to believe in hell and the existence of hell and heaven, because he has not found such things in his geography books, okay. Then he also understands the hypocrisy of adults, where he says that adults always they talk about love and they preach about love, but they are not so loving, okay. They themselves are not loving, but they preach about love to others. So this is a hypocrisy of adults. And finally in the third stanza he talks about individuality, where he talks about his own thoughts, his own ideas, and he is also able to sense his own individuality, and he understands that he has a separate personality. Okay, so the whole poem is, he is asking questions, the poet is asking questions, and he also tries to answer them. Alright children, now the last session, I want all of you to mention these words against each stanza. See, the first stanza, it tells you about the rationalism, as we already we have discussed. In the second stanza, it is hypocrisy. Hypocrisy of whom? Hypocrisy of adults. Okay. And in the third stanza, the poet talks about individuality, where he understands that he has his own mind, he is able to think by himself, he can produce his own ideas and everything. Okay, so these three words are very important in this poem. Okay children, there we have reached to the end of this poem. I hope you understood the poem, children. And I hope you have noted down all the things, all the poetic devices and the meanings and all. So that's it children. Please read the poem from your book. So that's it children. Thank you so much. Take care. We will meet in the next class.